What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a story time for y'all that I think you're going to enjoy. It was sent in to me by a subscriber about the time one of his cousins stole his grandma's car at a family reunion. Yeah, that's right. You know, just some kids living in GTA level stuff. Before we get into it, though, be sure to press the like button or no joke, no scam. Your cousin will steal your car, and let's go.
I'm getting quiet now, laying low when you reach, so I'm wiping down, making out, stack the bread.
Alright, so I think family reunions are one of those places where, you know, some crazy stuff sort of goes down. There's always the one weird uncle who drinks too much, you know, something like that. But Grand Theft Auto isn't usually on the list of crimes there. Anyways, this subscriber, who I'm gonna name Dan for the purpose of this video, was at his family reunion just doing his thing, and he had a cousin that I'm gonna name Fish, because you know what? I just feel like it's easier to name him after an animal. Now, Fish was known for kind of getting up to no good. In fact, all the parents sat down all the cousins beforehand and kind of made it clear that, like, if Fish asked for anything or wanted to do anything, they needed to make sure that his parents had said yes first, because he was kind of notorious for getting up to no good. And listen, you know, it's no fault of his own. I think everybody had the cousin that just kind of got into more trouble than the rest of them, right? It happens. So the cousins were kind of like, okay, but, you know, we're going to hang out with them and treat them normally. They hadn't seen their cousin in a very long time, though, so when everybody kind of was sitting there waiting to meet him and he came out, people really didn't know what to expect. And Fish walks over, starts talking to the cousins, is acting relatively normal. His dad's there, kind of introduces everyone, and walks away after a while. And as soon as the parents are gone, Fish goes, "I have firecrackers, do you guys want to go blow up a toilet?" is like one of the first things that he says. And obviously all the cousins are like, no, you know, we're not gonna go blow up a toilet right now, that would get me in trouble. And Fish kind of is annoyed with that, is like, oh, you guys suck, like it's gonna be one of those days, you know how it is. And the entire time that they're like doing normal stuff that you do at a family reunion, kind of running around, hanging out, playing board games, whatever, Fish is just complaining the entire time about how this is boring and it sucks and he wants to get out of here, and his friend's throwing a party a couple streets away and we could go, come on, let's get out of here. And the cousins keep kind of being like, no, 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 it's not a good idea, no. And obviously this kind of starts to annoy him more and more. And eventually he gets up and he goes out somewhere to kind of talk to some of the adults, and the cousins are hanging out. And instead of coming back pretty quickly, they realize that Fish has been gone for a really long time. So they go out there and they're like, hey, okay, what's going on? Like, where is he? And the parents are like, well, he told us that you guys were going to go somewhere. He said that all of the cousins were going to go hang out somewhere. So, you know, we figured that you guys were with him. If he's not with you, then where is he? And they're like, we don't know. He said he was coming to talk to you guys. And it becomes pretty obvious that he is no longer there. He had just decided to dip out and go probably to the party at his friend's house a couple blocks away. And like I said, it's a family reunion, so there's a lot of people there, including the great-grandparents. And great-grandparents, bless their heart, are usually just too nice for their own good. And the great-grandparents were out there sitting on the patio, so they go out there and they're kind of looking for him, and they realize pretty quickly that not only is he nowhere to be found, but the car is gone. One of the cars that was at the family reunion is now gone. And not just any car, but it's his grandma's car. Like, he didn't even do the justice of stealing his own family's car, but of course now his dad is stressing out that his son's gonna, like, total his mom's car. And so they're kind of frantically running around trying to figure out if there's any way for them to track down the car without getting the police involved. And in all this panic, the great-grandpa, who was kind of sitting on the porch of the house, doesn't seem perturbed at all. And finally, someone kind of asks him, did you see Fish? Do you know where he went? And the grandpa goes, yeah, he took my daughter's car and he said he was going to go to a party. And they're like, well, oh my gosh, who gave him the keys? Who gave him the keys? He can't drive. Keep in mind, he's not old enough to drive yet. Like, he literally should not have been in the car at all. And the great-grandpa goes, well, I did. I gave him the keys. Somehow, this great-grandpa, probably too old for his own good, you know, starting to get confused, things not making sense anymore, the type of guy who gets scammed by the IRS phone calls, just gave him the keys to the car knowing he was too young to drive. And when they kind of were like, why would you give him car keys? He's too young to drive. His response was, well, back on the farm when I was a boy, I would drive, so I just figured it would be okay. Obviously, just old man things. So at that point, they're kind of trying to figure out where he went. And they're calling him, he's not answering, of course, because why would he? I think if homie was willing to steal his grandma's car, ignoring his parents' phone calls is still on the list of stuff he's willing to do. Like, I don't think anyone should have been surprised by this. So for the next 15 minutes, they're freaking out, obviously, like, where's the car, where's the car? Still calling him, he's not replying. Finally, he answers. And everyone in the family is kind of crowded around the phone, and he's on FaceTime, and he's like, all right, Dad, you're gonna be mad, but don't be mad. And he's like, where are you? What are you doing? You stole your grandma's car. And he doesn't say where he is. He doesn't say anything. He just flips around the camera. And somehow, I do not know how this is possible, probably because he doesn't have his license, he had managed to like crash into the screen at a McDonald's drive-thru. You know how the McDonald's drive-thru now, they have the two different lanes where like you order and then you kind of merge together? He had tried to come into one and then like hit the gas, I guess, and gone up and hit the screen. And he's like, don't be mad, don't be mad. And obviously his dad is like turning beet red, trying not to scream, but he doesn't know what McDonald's he's at. And the entire family is kind of standing around slack-jawed because homie has probably totaled grandma's car. He can't drive and just took off in the middle of like a family party. So obviously his dad's like, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And reluctantly, Fish is like, fine, I'm here. And he says the location that they're at. And it was almost like in a movie, it was like Storm Chasers or something. When they got the location, everybody kind of gets up and starts running to their cars to get to the McDonald's as fast as humanly possible. Alright guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just 1 second. If you take a look on your screen now, you will see a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give away a gift card in every single video I post here on the channel as a way to say thank you to you guys for subscribing and turning on those notifications. So if you haven't done that already, you should. And if you are someone who's already subscribed with notifications on, then big thank you. You guys help out the channel a bunch, and on that note, I'll shut up. Enjoy. So obviously, it's like a mad dash to the McDonald's parking lot, dude. You know those old cartoons from back in the day when like they would just have the racing show and it was just cartoons racing? That's basically what's going on. Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machines in the lead. And obviously, they all pull up to the McDonald's, and at that point, the McDonald's had probably called a tow truck to come, and they're kind of pulling grandma's car off of the monitor, which is now, not working. And obviously it's a scene, and Fish is just kind of sitting there with a smile on his face on the curb. He doesn't look like he regrets it at all. He doesn't look like anything. And obviously his dad runs over there and starts yelling at him, what were you thinking? You could have gotten hurt, blah, 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 blah. And as soon as the dad shows up, the manager comes out and is like, are you this kid's dad? And obviously at that point, reality sets in, and he's like, yeah. And he goes, well, we need to have a talk, da-da-da-da-da, the police are coming. Your son crashed into the ordering machine, so you've got to pay for damages. Like, we can't have this, we had to call a tow truck. And the dad is just sitting there mortified. And he kind of looks at his family and is like, can you guys leave so I can handle this, without everyone watching? And as much as I wish they would have been like, no, we're staying for the show, the family is like, yeah, probably not a good situation to be having in front of your family. Obviously, Fish is about to get yelled at with a Fus Ra Da scream that should knock him off a mountain, dude. I don't even want to know how angry his dad has to have been in that situation. You're just trying to enjoy your time in a family reunion. Next thing you know, your kid steals your mom's car and just like goes and crashes it at a fast food drive-thru out of everything. I mean, it's already like pretty obvious he's gonna crash. He doesn't have his license, never really driven before, duh. But to do it in a drive-thru just adds extra insult to injury. I'm not surprised he didn't want everyone watching. Anyways, the family dipped out, and Fish ended up getting in quite a bit of trouble. Didn't get in any like legal trouble as far as arresting is, because the damages were paid for, blah 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 blah. But he did get in trouble to the point where when he got home, his mom and dad decided that he was getting shipped off to like a military school, dude. Which is insane. I thought that only happened in cartoons where like a kid was bad enough to the point where you needed to ship him off to the place where they're gonna like shave his head, like all that stuff, the military school. But at the same time, if there ever was a situation where it makes sense for a parent to whip out military school as a real punishment, I would guess stealing grandma's car and crashing it at a fast food restaurant would be up there. At least they didn't do what most parents on like the West Coast would have done. Like the parents in Las Vegas would have just put their kid on Dr. Phil and used it to get a little bit of clout from it. Honey, I understand that our kid embarrassed us by crashing into a McDonald's, but think about it this way. If we go on Dr. Phil, I'll finally be able to start my rap career. Like, that's how parents out here look at it. But, yeah, moral of the story, don't steal grandma's car. I feel like most of you already know that, I would really hope that most people subscribe to me aren't on the thought plan of stealing grandma's car in the first place. But I have to say it. But yeah, on that note, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I'd really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought. It just helps the video do better. And of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. If you really want to help me out, you can check out the intro song, link to it down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast. Other than that, you can use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout to get yourself quite a discount. Helps me out as well. So if you're in the market for some of the best energy drinks for gamers, be sure to use code SCRUBBY. And other than that, I've got new Halloween merch coming out on the 29th of this month, so be on the lookout for that. But if you want some of the 2 million subscriber merch, it will be available still in the link in the description down below, so check that out. On that note, guys, I think that's everything I got to shout out and do, so that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.